very short live stream. Much like me, I'm 5'4". Here I am in the iconic time travel location, only known as Forest Hills, Queens, in 2025. A lot of times, there's a lot of mockery. There's all these live streamers, but 1 to 100 fans or something, or subs, just to laugh at them. And I hope you're all laughing because that's the sun. I'm trying to get a halo. You see that? If I position myself correctly, I have a halo. If you don't, it's just like an interrogation thing. And then I could kind of aim it, sort of. Hmm. Just like an over-the-ear flashlight. So why am I doing this? Well, basically, I was reviewing all my shorts, and I realized that Robert Reynolds is a railroader. He's a schizophrenic drug addict, and then there's a time, and it's just like doing a raid, not an ice raid, but just like in hard drive raids. Basically, information is spread out all over the disk. So there's raid 0, raid 1, raid 10, stripe raids, and all that. And raid is a 4-letter word. I think it's like a random array of interconnected drives. And I was thinking, why does it have to be random? Don't do me like this. I just woke up to be the sentry, all right? You're the fucking void, Hebron. There's an entire industry based around Hebron, where you live. And the origin story of the century? Of course you don't. I'm going to tell you. Basically, there's a super-powered individual, or there's so many origin stories, but it's as many religions as there are origin stories. But basically mine, yeah, isn't that nice? It's like, Hulk. You want to be the Hulk? Because I woke up today and it was just like, man, something feels wrong. I told God not to wake me up today, and he woke me up today. I made a deal. I'll tell you because nobody else will believe me in all this. I said to all the authorities, the minions, powers within my religion, that I'm willing to stand in for Barack Obama, no matter what he did. That's what Catholics do. You're being tortured. I'm going to spend time there. And I said, you'd better kill me, God, before I make this a reality. And guess what? I woke up today. Do you see my eyes almost roll into the back of my head? You're not even fat. You're too skinny. You should eat. You have a woman in your life called your mom. It says, what have they been doing to you? Jesus, you could be 9 trillion pounds and your mom would still say that. What have you done to my boy? He sticks and bones. I don't get it. You just asked me failure. Get it? It lands, but I don't want to laugh. I did, Forrest asked me to do a realistic review, and I was like, okay, once I get back to the office, sit my ass down, talk about fat. Anyway, you're going to leave within 5-10 minutes. I know your style. You just pop in and then leave. This is more of a video diary. Basically, I'm the sentry. You could be the void or the bulk. But then, bulk bank. You know what I mean? Do you have a money printer? You don't even have a printer. You have a shitty laser, black and white. Like, you won't even shell out for the color or wide format. So the origin story of not Ryan Reynolds, Robert or Bob, to make this short, what do you want? Yeah, I learned. You don't make public streams anymore. Guilt trips don't work on a Catholic. I swim in it. I was born in it, shaped in it. You know? You, as a Hispanic man or a Jewish man, have other tools. All I have is guilt. So why would you add to my guilt? You know what I mean? That's a nice try. But you can't beat a Catholic in guilt. Sorry. Maybe a long time ago the Jews were really top at guilt. But then I learned, You do this, it's like robots. So I'm the sentry. Like the chosen try-hard. It ties into CT, conspiracy theory. You're the void, and your origin story was, I have two enemies. One is called the general, and the other one is called the mastermind. And I was somehow mind controlled, and they suggested that anytime I want to do good, I have to summon the devil. For some reason, you entered into here. But not just any devil, the devil within me renamed himself the Void, or in your case, Hebron. Well, shucks. That's a real shocker. You know what I mean? It fuels your indignation. Me, the guilt of being associated with you is like, again, all due respect to somebody, I've been called a real loser, so I can make jokes about a real loser. Only a real loser gets fired. Okay? Does that sting at all? It shouldn't. Are you? Really? There was a guy called Untouchable 717 in a conspiracy. And then so he would make edicts like that. I am untouchable. The next poster I posted right after him is of the same nature as you, maybe an alternate reality timeline self of Hebron. And it goes, touch, touch. Oh, I'm not touching you. I am touching you. There's something. Somebody who knows you better inside out than me or your company. They'll pretend to fire you and reinstate you just to form that loosh. Who's looking worried? Who's looking relieved? Yeah? You might as well say, I am unfuckable. Not the flex you wanted. So anyway, Void. I know also talk with a guy named Vlad, and that guy's insane. He goes from port to port stabbing wives. Yeah, aside from that, I'm very wise. You are very unfuckable. Why me in all of my like streaming? I would never say I am untouchable. My brain already translates that to the worst thing, unfuckable. It hits. I was talking to Gruck, and it was like, there's a lot of questions. Like, I could feed your letter that you sent me to Grok or Gemini, and they would have an entire backstory. Why did you do that? How will you do it again? But I said to myself, I don't need AI. I just know you. All I need to remember are your three jokes. The thing is, exposing yourself like that, making yourself like Nebuchadnezzar if you're religiously bent, or even Moses. It's like he would go to the top of the mountain. These are the dumbest Israelites of all time. And they call me dumb because all we gotta do is go from Egypt to the promised land. It's 8 fucking miles. 40 years later. Why? And you know the reasoning? Catholics figured it out. You're somewhat Christian, being Hispanic. Oh, you have a chat no. It named itself. Yeah, you're going to the weak sauce. You're pushing around toddlers with Chat GPT. You don't even read the news. Do you know what Replit is? Replit? I mean, you're the guy who comes in after, by the way, how are the beepers, guys? You're very bragging gloaty. It's not me, but I'm untouchable. Ugh. The things you say. Yeah, I had a bagel or croissant. It cost, they wanted to charge me $31 for 2 breakfasts. I was like, I must be in fucking Forest Hills. Have you seen this place? There are mansions next to like, regular houses. The more money you have, the better your house looks in Forest Hills. They have a Geico here, which is like, it's so odd to see a brick and mortar Geico. So I keep this thing as a mustache to remind me nobody's perfect and it's all in God's plan. Did you know that Arabs have full marks? They remembered 100 names of God. And the last one is what they call Allah. So I'm just wondering, you must have a lot of time as the void right now. It's like, look, you destroyed the universe. I woke up. Like, I made a deal with God. Don't wake me up. And he woke me up. Look what your friend did. He destroyed the world. And then I had to rebuild all of this, Hebron, sight unseen. It's like going to IKEA and then it's like there's a package and it's like build this. But why? Because your friend destroyed the living room or the lobby. Uh-huh. Ma'am Danny. Whatever. I'm surprised, you don't grrr after that name. Why didn't you say that? I don't even know the guy. I just know I had to rebuild this reality with Membrani in it. I could have rebuilt it like an IKEA thing. Oops, I forgot the screw. This will hold with 3 screws. Instead, under Yad's very, very tight supervision because of what you did, I should be able to laser you, but I can't. So all I have to do is just like Sandler in Hotel Transylvania. Okay, you're too retarded to be mind controlled. So I'll just do this. A finger. Smell this finger. By accepting the reinstatement, you signed up for another trillion years of slavery. All the best. You're not going to have me to help you. This is like a goodbye stream. I had to do a tribute live stream for Merck. Have you seen that one? You come in here, what are their feelings about New York politics? Same as always, is bullshit. You can write that in your report and then forward to all you like. I wouldn't be complete if I didn't warn you. If you go into the Bus Nouveau, Tham there is a retired MK Ultra handler. If you ever visit one of his things just to troll and you come out a little different, somebody warned you. That's all I'm going to say. So if I asked you, who is the paladin of Jerusalem? Do you know? If you don't know, here's a classic joke of Nate Mendez. So you go on a bus, but then, you're so educated, untouchable in all this, that you remember something in the history books. There's always a moron on the bus. But on this particular bus, you're looking all around. There's people. That doesn't look like a moron. That doesn't. There's 47 people on the bus looking around. The bus driver doesn't look. Oh, well, I lucked out. This is the one bus where there's no moron. Wrong. You are that moron. You just don't know. Only a moron says to a universe that is reality check based and hostile, I am untouchable. And I hear this and I was like, I have a short list of people who could destroy reality. They wouldn't dare. Bing. It was you. Damn right. Good. You got one right. Now, what just happened is you're riding your Jerusalem bus, and for some reason, for all of a sudden they elected Hitler to power. I'm lost, bus driver. Is this Forest Hills? I got my easy pass and my Omni card. Boop, just waving me in. I know you. You're Hebron. I'm in fucking Jerusalem. You're the only one who can recognize me as the Paladin of Jerusalem. Okay, good. Of course, that's only in my chat. It's between you and me. Only a greater moron can supplant your moronity. It's like Sarcasm 101. Once you got an A plus in there, why would you go to Sarcasm 102? Need more sarcasm? Or like Sophie's Choice. Does it really need a sequel? Right. But I know all these so-called friends. It's like even Roy. If I don't check in with you, suddenly, look at that. The Hatzola Volunteer Ambulance. Hatzola. I don't even know. Okay? Notice, I'm not surrounded by Jews. Not even 10, 20, or 6 million Jews. Just like the Red Sea and Moses, I have parted it. The invisible spirit says, well, the ground, the riverbed, the seabed wants to touch Israelite feet. So we're walking and walking and walking. Adolf Isaac. Why Isaac? Could have been Jacob. No se puede. That's all I'm gonna say. The system works. I had to. Don't flip out, right? And I was like thinking, if the AI had access to my Gmail, just my business email, and it is allowed feminism at Gmail, I have literally trillions, not counting the alternate timeline reality versions of me. There's not even just one egg in a dozen. There has to be 12. Well, I didn't do that. And why do you mention your sister? Is she a bratty little sister? A controlling older sister? It's all the same to me. There must be a reason. You must get paid for either rampaging or pretending you're Iranian so that New York is destabilized, so all the property prices go down and you can pick it up for like pennies on a dollar. That's just off the top of my head. Yesterday I was Lex Luthor. Today I was to fucking the Century. And they have this Thunderbolts movie, which is really good. Really good. I was despairing. I had almost despaired of finding like a dude powerful enough to be happily married to the Black Widow chick, Ilyana or whatever her name is. If my alternate timeline reality self, and based on you, that person isn't done. Me, if I was on a council, I like three of his jokes, I vote against attacking you. However, there are countless versions of me now. Even drivers, bus drivers, cut me off at the fucking Midtown Tunnel, and I was like, this motherfucker is a stranger. I look at the license plate, I look at the bus number. Guess what it was? 3392. 33 for Jesus, 92 for me. Okay? So it was me cutting me off. And I was like, what did I do? I'm an innocent guy. And it's like, you don't even have passengers on this fucking bus, not in service. He just decided, I'm going to cut you off. So these alternate reality timeline cells of mine are in motion right now. They don't need Fiesta in America. They'd be like Flaca in America or Jewish in America. It's just in America. And one might be an Interpol. You know what I mean? Being the Century means I can mentally break all the bones of the Hulk, or as you call it, the bulk, or the bank. Or right now I'm basking in the sun. The bask. Why didn't you say it's a fat joke because fat people have to bask in the sun too? The sheer skin area. You're lazy with your comedy. Lazy. I laugh at first out of obligation, and then you did a funny. Don't disappoint me. Yeah, emphysema. They're coming right for us. Don't mention any more family members because like the void within me is like a vendor. And you, as a warehouse person, reinstated, deal with all kinds of vendors. And they're normally nice. But then if you're really good at producing damage, or if it's transparent to me, Evron, and I'm a total imbecile, how much more the people above you? Just be careful out there. That's all I'm going to say. Somebody's trying to collect the debt. Great. Awesome. I am maximally delinquent. I have 3 negative things on my credit history. One for God the Father, one for God the Son, God the Holy Spirit. Trying to remove it, dispute it. Won't work. No dice. Again, for some reason, they sent you to me. So if you're the Century, I got to talk like the Void now. Okay? I'm darker than you, I think, even though you spent all your time in the Middle East. And now, to equalize, just like Moses and Pharaoh, God is making the sun here in Queens, New York, ridiculously hot. There's flash floods. There's a Bugatti right here. And you're going to see a man just like take his spot. Yes, rogue, sure. You know what rogue means? Review or rouge, like Moulin Rouge. This is one of my alternate timeline reality selves who has a fucking Bugatti. And he's just checking in. So to show me how difficult it is to park here. You see that? I'm parked next to a hydrant. This is a legitimate thing. He's very good. Although he dented his Bugatti. So that means he's not scared to break knees or legs. That's the thing. He's holding up traffic, but when you're rich, who gives a fuck? Yeah, I'm sure. Who is they? They don't know anything. Let me adjust it. I'm gonna help my alternate reality timeline self. Doesn't know how to park. Drives a Bugatti. I did. I'll be back. So I gotta make allowances. He looks like a guy like you who's willing to file 10 trillion malicious lawsuits just for looking at his car funny. He looks like me if I get mutated into Latin America. Okay? So be careful. Just because you ended all conflict with me, they have long memories. You know about endurance hunting? Back then, it's like mammoths, and then there's just five guys, but we gotta eat. So they would harass the mammoth. It wouldn't get any rest at all until it fell into a pit or broke his leg, and then they stabbed it in the eye. That's what harassment is all about. I'm sure. The more you advertise that you're a fortress, the more adventurers will be like, well, that's a fortress. How about we rob that guy? You know? And then some people will say, come try, come see. So be more arrogant. I command you. If I do have mind control over you, what I did before was just like basic entry level. Try to secure a plastic bag from a Filipino vendor. I can't. The good ones are 30 miles out. Okay. You know? And then I know some people in the bus, I give them an order. It's like I have to tell them how to stop, actually. I asked them to get a plastic bag from Filipino thing. We decapitated their general. Okay, next time, don't do that. All I wanted was a fucking plastic bag. So you're on one end of the spectrum. I'm not going to do anything you say. And then the other spectrum, which I'm more worried about, they overdo everything I say. So I want you to feel all cozy. Forward this to whoever has accused me unjustly of mind controlling you. Because at first, it's just like checking if the bathroom is occupied. It's a precaution on my part. I don't just kick the door in, you get out. As I move, I jiggle the door. Oh, it's locked, and I take a few steps back. And the worst part, there was this comic book historian nerd guy, broke down the century rule, and every 2 minutes I would be like, "But wait, that's me. But wait, that's me. But wait, that's me." After the schizophrenic drug addict got injected with the super soldier serum and learned all this and that, and he got to know all the superheroes. He had a sidekick, he had a dog, just like the new Superman movie. And then the void struck. He crippled the face of his sidekick, molested the dog, got rid of his girlfriend, broke all the bones of the Hulk, ambushed a lot of people so that they would have to make a forget. You could probably Google this, right? Well, again, be careful. Hulk Hogan, through an American institution, untouchable like Ozzy, was touched. If I didn't witness with my own two eyes in a conspiracy theory forum somebody being like you, and we're just all taking a step back, something bad gonna happen to that guy. You know, like he's out in the middle of an open field, and it's a thunderstorm, and he is the tallest thing of all time. There, yep, that's what happened. If they can't strike at you, people you think are untouchable. Your idols, that mentors that taught you, one by one, they'll fall. Ozzy first. And I'm hoping this is all a psyop. They're fine. This is a dream sequence. It was just a bad dream. So tell me more about your news. How are you? What'd you have for lunch today? Boring shit, you know? Mundane shit. So that whatever is trying to kill you is coming closer. Just stay with me. I expected you to leave about 10 minutes ago. You're so intrigued at either getting my opinion or telling me shocking news. You gotta be seeing who's nearer to you. So, report a massive success. You know what happens after a massive success? They start tying up loose ends, eliminating the middleman. Being in a manager position, no tenure, somebody stole it. Historically, they fucked you over and they're gonna do it again. So I'm just here to observe. Are you sure it was shawarma? Are you sure it wasn't Jewish babies made to look like shawarma? Better check. I always assume all the meat I eat are Filipino babies. There's another one. My alternate reality timeline self. He's a more Arabic Islamic self, and he has a kid, and he has a very loud infinity from New Jersey. Government, very prideful, politician, vroom vroom, manual transmission. And so, it's just like that meme. That wasn't chicken. That wasn't chicken. This is a real Maserati too. Look at that. It's like a Maserati that was used to haul cement. How rich do you have to be to get? I'll haul the cement in my extra Maserati. So my Islamic friend already ran off. Probably gonna talk to all the mosques. It's like now is the time, brothers. We have a majority. Blah blah blah. Me, normally there would be vehicular manslaughter or public masturbation around, but since they know me, it's like maybe later, last. I don't claim to be untouchable. Far from it. I touch really hot things. And I'm on the floor. Touch me all you like. You'll get bored after 10 minutes. Yeah, sure. Imagine Ozzy talking to God or Satan. I know the other guy. I'm Ozzy Osbourne. You were. This is your life. And it's like, but every week I die with Sharon and I have dementia. Even Bruce Willis can't get into a fucking chair. So again, I'm just gonna consider you like somebody who says the wrong thing all the time badly. There's nothing you can do actually. I've read Terry Pratchett's This World and the atheists, agnostics, the eggheads, the untouchables, the elites. It's like, hold on, I've disproven death exists. So you don't see me. I see you like a sniper. You know? It's nice that you came in within my power area. You're free to go. But if you end up in enemy territory, that's you. You know what I mean? Even in Israel, there's like, you can't go into Gaza. You have to hire a private driver and then you have to pay him a lot of money. You want to defect? Boom. You have to say, in my chat, I've never known you at all. Assume godhood. That's the only protection I can give you. Even if you don't believe you're a deity, you'd better. You had really better. I know a guy locally, if you look at all my videos, he believes he is God. He's immortal. Lights follow him. That's the kind of insanity that needs to be channeled outwards. Okay? There's another person in the chat, and that's probably my lurker, an alt. Some like the buffer, the technological delay, the AI, the Grok 4. Like they're gonna stop at 4. You wouldn't even stop at $4 or 4 jokes. Assume godhood or don't. That's what I'm gonna say to you.
have to go inside.